Good day everyone, good day sir. I am Hazel Mikihano Akiman from BEd 2A. For today's video, I am gonna show you my recycled art activities menu. So here is it, my art recycled activities menu. So, my recycled art activities menu is made up of junk folders, cartolina, construction paper, and bond paper. So, it was all just recycled. So, are you ready to explore what's inside of my recycled art activities menu? Okay, so let's proceed. So, the first thing you can see in my recycled art activity menu is the table of contents. In the table of contents, you will see the title and the pages, whereas you can see the title of my art activities menu. So, the first one is Pointillism. You can see it in the page 1. And next, Animals Around Us, page 4. Finger Painting, page 7. Color Blowing, page 10. Choose an artwork by listening music, page 12. Eye Mask Craft, page 14. Left Pattern Drawing, page 17. Popsicle Stick Pencil Holder, page 19. Song, Red, Red, I Do Not Have Red, page 21. And Making a Fairy Tale Character and His or Her Environment or Home, page 23. So, let's proceed. So, first thing is about the pointillism. Here is it. Pointillism. So, the duration in this activity is almost 1 hour. The target grade level that I will be choosing is the grade 4, 5, and 6. The method of teaching that ako i-apply is visualization, center-based learning, and then guided activity. Visualization because they will do it hands-on and actual. They can really see it. They can really draw what they want. So, centered base is makalearn man sila ang mga student. Sila mismo ang makalearn. So, nasentro yun sa ilaha. And then, guided activity because, again, we are teaching elementary students so when they need our guide, not just all grade 4, 5, and 6 are fast learners. There are also slow learners. So, they also need our guide as teachers. Next is the multiple intelligence. The multiple intelligence that I will be using is the visual, spatial, and bodily kinesthetic. Visual spatial is because from the word of the method of teaching ay gamit na ko is visualization. So, of course, in multiple intelligence, the visual spatial is also present because it is a hands-on activity. And then bodily kinesthetic because some of their body are moving, especially their hands in painting, in doing that activity, hands-on activity. So the materials needed in this is the marker, colored paper, pencil or ball pen, bond paper, glue, and then puncher. So the objectives of this activity is first, reflect on the use of pattern and textures in their own works of art and in the artworks of their peers. Number 2, experiment with the marks, lines, shapes, textures, patterns, and tones that can be made with different drawing instruments on a page. And lastly, discover the use of pattern and rhyme in a natural and manufactured objects and how to use them purposefully in his or her work. So that is the objectives of this activity, which is the pointillism. So let's proceed to the procedure of this activity. So the procedure of this activity are 8 procedures. So number 1 procedure. Number 1 procedure is add sticky label and add your first and last name to the back of the paper. So, but ngan sa mga bata, ang sa pangalan nila o apelyido diri sa loyo sa bag paper. So, but ngan nila ang dili mawala. So, diba kung mga bata kay usahay mabiyaan man nila ilang mga activities. So, para dali lang nila makita, pabot nga na ako sa ilaha o pangalan aron walay maghilak. So, Wala nila kay nawala yung activity. So, di ba na yung mga inana? So, next procedure is turn your paper back over and place it vertically in front of you. Number 3, ask your neighbor or a volunteer to trace your forearm and hand with a pencil. 4, examine and make adjustment to your pencil outline. 5, using a brown crayons, color your head and forearm, so like this. 6, add some color to the trunk and branches of your tree. And then 7, write your first name alongside the trunk of your tree. And then 8, lastly, ask your teacher where to place project to dry and begin clean up. So, the activity result is just like this. Point lesson. Okay. So now, let us proceed to the second art activities menu. So the second art activities menu is entitled Animals Around Us. Animals Around Us activity is the duration is almost 1 hour. The grade level is the grade 4, 5, and 6. And then the method of teaching that I will be using is the visualization, small group, cooperative, and collaboration learning. So again, nagamit ko visualization kaya I will allow them to look around outside our classroom and record the animals that they will see. And then small group because this activity is by group and I will be grouping them at least 3 to 4 members every group. And then cooperation and collaboration is always present if we have our groupings, because what is groupings if cooperation and collaboration of the members are not present? So I will allow, so kinahanglan jud ang activity ang mga students na adjud ang cooperation and collaboration nila dito sa ilang members to succeed this activity. The multiple intelligence that I will be using is the visual, spatial, naturalistic because it is about environment, and animals is part of environment, and they will be classifying the animals. And then logical, mathematical, because at the end of their activity I will let them to calculate the animals that they see around our outside the classroom. And then verbal intelligence because as a group they need to communicate with each other. So, muna siya ang upat ka intelligence ang akong ginagamit. And then, materials needed aning activity is the notebook, pencil, and underline index card. So, the objectives of this activity is first, the students will understand that they share their environment with many other animals and will be able to identify many of them. Second, the students will understand what biodiversity is. So that is the main goal of this activity. So now, let us proceed to the procedure. So, the procedure number 1 is divide students into several groups. Have one person in each group to be the recorder. In his or her notebook, he or she should make the following headings across the top of the pages. So, it is domestic or wild, alone or with others, size of the group, and then activity unsay gibuhat sa animals sila nakita. So, inani siya pagkabuhat dapat. So, second, take the students outside and have them list all the animals that they see. The recorder will write down all the species, the student's name, and each individual or group that they see. Number 3, go back inside the classroom and make one list of every species that has seen by the students. Number 4, each student in each group shall choose one animal that is on the list and be responsible to total the number of animals seen and complete categories listed above. Have someone copy down all of the data collected today for later use. And then lastly, number 5, pass out one card to each student and have him or her draw and name the animals they choose. So, Sa last, number 5, gumagamit na din katong unlike index card. Kaya ipas mo imo ang index card, ipasa nimo index card nimo dito sa imong seatmates, and let him or her draw kung unsa iyahang na-choose nga animals by sa inyo na by group. So, muna siya ang the animals around us. So now, let us proceed to the third one. So the third one is entitled finger painting. So from the word finger painting, it is so easy, diba? Easy lang. Sayon lang siya in teaching and in doing activities. So the duration of this activity is 1 hour. The duration of this activity is almost 1 hour. The grade level is grade 1, 2, and 3. And the method of teaching that I will be using is visualization and discussion. Visualization because I will letting them to imagine and create artwork that they want. And then discussion because I will discuss sa ilaha tagaan ako sa gamay nga discussion about the primary and secondary colors. So next is the multiple intelligence, visual, spatial, and bodily kinesthetic. Again, bodily kinesthetic kay magamit nila ang ilahang some parts of their body are moving, especially their hands. Kahit tungod sa finger painting man siya. There are some of their body, not just the hands lang, pero dapat niya po magamit. So that's why I will be using bodily kinesthetic and visual, spatial kay they will hands-on the activity. And then the materials needed in this activity is a finger paint paper, washable finger paint, paper plates, and then smokes. The objectives of this activity are 3. So the first one, the children will explore mixing colors. 2, the children will be introduced to the terms primary and secondary. And then 3, the children will be exercising their fine motor skills. So, magamit din nila yung mga fine motor skills ani. So, let us proceed to the procedure of this activity. The procedure of this is number 1. When every child has their own sheets of paper, place blobs of paint in separate sections of the paper plate. Number 2, instruct the children to paint what they want with any color they want with their hands. And then number 3, when the children are finished with this piece of paper, provide them with a new sheet. And then number 4, place all colors of paints on the paper. And then lastly 5, instruct the children paint with these colors. So, inani siya. And this is just an example. So I just use white paint kay white paint ang available dire sa amoa. So nabuhatid ko no so nadi ko example. So let us proceed sa next is the color blowing through straw. So the duration of this activity is 1 hour and 30 minutes. So, dili siya, di mo siya dali siya activity. So, 1 hour and 30 minutes. And then the grade level is grade 4, 5, and 6. And then the method of teaching is modeling, guided activity, and visualization. Modeling kay mag-demo ko in front sa mga bata aron ko balo sila kung unsaon, and then guided activity kay kinahanglan pa gid nato i-guide ato mga elementary students, especially ang mga slow learners, di ba? So kinahanglan din nato sila i-guide. And then multiple intelligence is visual, spatial, and then bodily kinesthetic. Okay, visual again can be our hands on the activity, and then see din nila, actual din nila. And then bodily kinesthetic is magamit na sa nila ang ilahang body. So ma-move nila ilang mga lawas, magamit nila ang parts sa ilahang body. So next is the materials needed in this activity is several examples of straw painting, then different types of straw, plastic, bendable, paper, and glass, and acrylic paint, small paper plates, white butcher paper, and then fine tip markers. So there are 3 objectives in this art activity. The first objective is discuss both common and unusual uses for straws. Number 2, explain how straw can be used for painting. And lastly, list the materials needed for show painting. So that are the objectives. So let us proceed again to the procedure on how to do this activity. So the procedure, here is it. Procedure number 1. Begin by displaying the examples of straw painting for the class. Number 2, pass around several different types of straw in the classroom. Number 3, explain to the class that the images displayed were created using straws. And number 4, place a small blob of paint on a paper plate and demonstrate the act of blowing through a straw to move the paint into different design. And then number 5, add another color to the paper plate and blow through the straw again to show students how to blend colors. 6, give each student paper plate and several blobs of paint in assorted colors. And lastly, now allow each student to practice moving and mixing the paint of the plate with the different types of straw. So inana a procedure aning activity nga color blowing through straw. So again, let us proceed to the next one. Choose an artwork by listening to music. So it is about music, listening music. So all our students are interested, especially when it comes to music. So please. The duration of this activity is 35 minutes only. And the grade level is the grade 3, grade 4, and grade 5. Methods of teaching is the think, per share, and think aloud. Nag-think per share ko, it is because I will be grouping them into 2 to duo. So, both of them will think and share their ideas kung unsa yun ilang masabtan sa akong ipadungog nga music. And then think aloud because each one of them will think critically kung unsa yun ilang masabtan sa music. Next is the multiple intelligence. The multiple intelligence is the musical, rhyme, and the visual spatial. Musical is again from the word music here in our title. So directly, we will be using musical rhyme and visual spatial because ilang i-paint, ang ilang na-imagine, ilang nasabtan sa song. So, inana siya. The materials needed aning activity is paint of famous artworks, then laptop and speakers and videos. So, pakita natin silang mga videos ani. So, there are 4 objectives in this art activity. The first is the children are able to listen carefully to several pieces of music. Number 2, the children are able to pick an artwork based on the music they hear. And number 3, the children are able to explain why they have chosen the artwork on the music. And then number 4, the children can enjoy listening to the music. Of course, enjoy din na ang mga bata when it comes to music na judge. Interested ka sila. So, let us proceed to the procedure on how will the students do this activity. So, there are 3 procedures only. Number 1 procedure is group the children by pair and explain to them that they are going to hear pieces of music and that they are going to choose an artwork that fits the music they hear. Number 2, start the first piece of music. Give the duos time to listen and be choose. Tagaan silang oras nga dong paminaw to music aron maka-think yun sila kung unsa ang ilang i-draw. Next is let the children explain why they have chosen a piece of art with the music they just heard. So ipa-explain mo sa students in front kung ngano kato ang ilang nabuhat, kato ilang na-draw. So inana siya kasayo na nga activity. So now, let us proceed to the next one. The I must craft. So, I must craft. So, from the word I, so sa mata din siya nga, must, di na maapil ang mga nawong. So, the I must craft, the duration of this activity is 1 hour and 30 minutes. And then the grade level is the grade 5 and grade 6 kay mas dali makabuhat, dali makabuhat, mas mas nanay knowledge ang mga grade 5 and grade 6, dali na sila makasabot sa itudlo sa teachers, kaya medyo nanay sila wide knowledge. And then the method of teaching is modeling, visualization, centered base. So modeling kay again, magbuhat ko diya in front sa ila. So, ako i-demo para naa sila guide. Kaya there are a lot of eye mask man. So, magbuhat ko ako to siya own. And then, ako lang itong example sa ilang nga inaani. So, I will allow them na sad kung unsa ilang gusto. Basta it is eye mask craft. Next is, center base, kaya makalearn na sila. Of course, sila din ang sentro ani nga po. Dili ako teacher, dili ako makalearn. Sila ang makalearn. So, di center base din ako sila. This is a student center base, no? And then, ang akong multiple intelligence na gamiton is visual, spatial, and then bodily kinesthetic. Yes, bodily kinesthetic na sad, kay magamit man nila na sad ang ilahang mga body. Magamit nila ang some parts of their body, especially their hands jud, per me hands jud, diba? Basta when it comes to craft, hands jud ang magamit sa mga bata. And then the materials needed lang jud is pencil, crayons or coloring paint, folder, glue, and then scissor. So there are 3 objectives. The first objectives is student will use variety of art techniques to assemble unique eye masks. 2, students will be able to explain their artwork. And then lastly, students can enjoy doing it. Diba? So let us proceed the procedure kung unsaon sa mga bata pabuhat. Na procedure number 1. Let the students get and prepare their materials. 2. Explain to the class that the artwork display was an example of eye mask craft. So, just like this, explain ako sa mga bata nga isa siya ka-example sa eye mask craft. So, inaani siya. No? Sa mata din siya, sa mata, no? Inaani siya ang eye mask craft. This is just my example. Next is, give them time to think and work their artwork. And 4, after doing their artwork, guide the students to clean their area and settle down. And then lastly, let the children explain their artwork. So, pa-explain ako sila nga nung kana ang artwork kung sa po i-reflect nila in the real life ang ilahang artwork. So, inana siya kasi inana po siya ka-importansya, inana siya dako ang ma-learn sa mga bata ani nga art activity. The next one is about the left pattern drawing. The left pattern drawing duration is 30 minutes only. The target grade level is grade 3. And then the method of teaching that I will be using is visualization and guided activity. Yes, guided activity because it is only a grade 3 and they need our guide. So, again and again, there are students na fast learners na po iban nga slow learners na kinahanglan atong mga giga, no? And then next is method of teaching and multiple intelligence rather. It is visual, spatial, bodily kinesthetic, and interpersonal. Yes, ako interpersonal dari. Gamit ko interpersonal, it is because i-allow man ako ang students to share with their peer ang ilahang artwork, to discuss with their peer ang ilang artwork. The materials needed in this activity is watercolor, bond paper, pencil, crayons, and then marker. So the objectives are only one. There is only one objectives. So it is students will create pattern using objectives found in nature. Then they will discuss what is seen in works of art made by others. Sumoto nga na ako'y interpersonal. So now let us proceed to the procedure in this activity. So the procedure in this activity is number 1. Draw along diagonal line. So diagonal line, so paana mag-draw mga bata. Second, add about V shape. So from ana, V shape kadiha. V. Balo man tayo sa V. 3. Draw fingers around the line. Trace with black marker. 4. Use crayons to make patterns. 5. Continue changing the crayon colors often. Number 6. Add more patterns until every section is filled. 7. Add several crayon outlines around the outside. 8. Fill the rest with crayon shapes. And then 9. Paint over all the crayon lines with watercolor, or pwede na po siya crayons lang po, walay watercolor, depende sa materials nga available sa mga bata. No, dili mo jud ato mapugos sa mga bata kung badala sa watercolor kay na majority uban nga dili nila wala sila ina ng materials and they can afford it to buy, di ba? Na majority bata nga balisod jud, so allow them to borrow na lang, to borrow with other peers, or let them use unsay available sa mga students. So dapat inana dito mga teachers. Next, let us proceed to the next one. The popsicle stick pencil folder. So the duration of this activity is only 1 hour. The grade level is only grade 5. The method of teaching is visualization and guided activity. Again, kaya ato silang guide ang mga bata ani nga activity para maka-come up sila o creative and unique nga activity. Multiple intelligence is visual, spatial, bodily, kinesthetic, and interpersonal. The materials needed in this activity is the popsicle stick, paper, glue, and then scissors. There are 2 objectives. The number 1 objectives of this is learn to make a pencil holder using popsicle stick. Then simple pencil holder with step-by-step instructions. So now step-by-step instructions. So that is the procedure. So let us proceed to the procedure. Procedure number 1. So getting started. Number 2, create a base. Pwede na siya papel, no? Puna na paper. So create a base. 3, lay out your entire base with popsicle sticks. 4, glue the sticks directly on the top of the base. 5, glue popsicles to the edges of your base. 6, glue another layer of more popsicle sticks onto the edges of your base. 7, keep gluing more layers until your holder reaches a height you are comfortable with. 8, wait about an hour for the glue to dry. And then 9, finish up. So your activity goes like, it looks like this. So inana ang activity. This is a popsicle stick pencil holder. So inani, di ba? So next is the song Red, Red, I Do Not Have Red. The duration of this activity is the application 15 minutes. Repeat every day but with new color in 10 minutes. So the grade level is the kindergarten. And the method of teaching is cooperative and modeling. Cooperative because students will cooperate with the teacher singing in front of them. And modeling because teacher will sing and the student will do what teachers do, no? So the multiple intelligence is musical, rhyme, and bodily kinesthetic. Again, musical from this because it is a song and it is about music. Then bodily kinesthetic because I will let the students to find object inside the classroom in color red or the color that we are singing. The materials needed in this activity is the song text, whistle or the recorder, toys in the classroom, colored leaves, red, yellow, blue, orange, or any color that you want to teach. There are 3 objectives of this. Number 1 objectives is sing a song with the teacher. 2, carry out assignments while singing the song. And lastly, expressing qualities of objects, color, smell, taste, feeling, sound, and shape. So that are the main goal or the main objectives of this activity. So here's the procedure. The procedure number 1 is The teacher plays the song on the whistle or with the recorder with the sounds. Number 2, the teacher sing the song and show the read sheet. So, mukanta ang teacher nang pakita siya og red na color. 3, the teacher sing the song and search for a red object in the classroom and show it to the children. 4, the teacher sings the song and the children search for a red object in the classroom and take it to the circle. 5, the preschoolers are encouraged to sing along with the teacher. So, mukanta together with the teacher. And then 6, variation. Sing song with different color, yellow, blue, orange, or any color that is present and applicable and available. So, that is the song Red, Red, I Do Not Have Red activity. So, now let us proceed to the last one. The last activity is making a fairy tale character and his or her environment or home. So, the duration of this activity is 5 times 1 hour divided on several days. So, i-divide mo into several days na siya. So, at the 1 hour kada adlaw. So, the grade level is preschool. The method of teaching is modeling and role playing. So, from the title nato, making a fairy tale character in her environment. So, i-role play din nila. Ibutang nila ilang life as a main character sa ilahang ginabuhat nga story, sa ilahang ginabuhat nga fairy tale character. So, multiple intelligence is verbal, linguistic, interpersonal, and then bodily, kinesthetic. So, verbal linguistic is again, makikommunicate man sila through role-playing, nakakommunicate sila with their practice communicating with their peers. And then, interpersonal, kaya nag-share sila sa ilang mga feelings, sa ilang mga ginabati dito sa ilang peers, I guess, or sa ilang classmates, sa ilang teachers. And then, bodily kinesthetic is, in role-playing, we will be using our body, no? And then, the materials needed in this activity is modeling clay, paint to paint the character, paper or cardboard in size A3 crayons, a pieces of fabric or base as a floor for the environment or home. So, there are 6 objectives in this activity. The number 1 objectives is children plan and prepare a fairy tale character and make him or her a life story. 2, where does he or she live or environment asa siya puyo. Then what is his or her home like, kung sa klase ang yung gipuy-an. Then what happens, then to tell a story, and then to play together. So muna siya ang main goal ani nga art activity. So the procedure of this activity is number 1, the children make the character of modeling clay. 2, depending on the type of the clay, the character is dried and painted. Then number 3, the children draw the fairy tale character, a living environment, and a home. And then 4, the children tell a story about their fairy tale character to an adult who writes it down. 5, the children perform the story. 6, the children play together using the fairy tale character. So, dili lang dahil siya i-act nila, pero i-draw po nila ang mga main character ani nga art activity. So, dili siya dali nga activity, no? So, dili siya maman into 1 hour. So, kinahanglan siya in 5 days, tag 1 hour na siya. Tag 1 hour lang inyong budget. Pwede po siya sobraan, pero it depends na sa teacher nga mutudlo. So that's all my art activities mino. So I have 10 art activities mino. So I hope you are naka-learn mo sa akong art activities mino ay ma-apply po ninyo mga fellow teachers in teaching arts in elementary level. So again, I am Hazelme Tihano Akimar from BEd 2E, and I will be submitting it to Mr. Nel Improgo, our teaching arts instructor. So, thank you everyone, and keep safe.